So today, it's Friday, and just got a phone call from Brad, who has really been hit or miss with us. You know, we've felt like with this kid, this is the kid that is homeless and has been holding up a sign, panhandling, that says kicked out for being gay. And, you know, we've been working with this kid quite a bit this past week. And, you know, some days we feel like we're going in a good direction with them, and then it doesn't take long thereafter where it feels like, you know, things, they're just not going in the right direction. And what I mean by that is, well, first, you know, we talked to Brad about doing community service work. Actually went and took him to get the clothes that he needed to go do the community service work. He has to do this for his probation. He has to do this so he can go to his probation and get an ID card so he can fill out a job application. You know, you need an ID, you need a social, you need these things if you're gonna definitely attempt to get a job. It's just the way that it is. We took him to do the community service. He didn't end up doing the community service. He lied to us about that. And, you know, we felt like it was definitely not going in the right direction. When we felt like it was, that's what made us feel like it wasn't. Well, yesterday, Brad took it upon himself to actually go do some community service. So, you know, we have reached him to some degree, and it's a good thing that he's doing the things that he needs to do. We're going to be meeting with Brad in just a little while, and he's actually willing to share his story with us. And I think this is a major thing because, you know, the relationship that we've had with Brad thus far, it's been pretty rocky, right, Dave?
I mean, one minute it sounds good, the next minute everything's all sketchy. I don't know, man. You know, you hope for the best, and all that does is set you up for failure when something else, you know, when all of the signs are pointing to what we expect or what we suspected in the first place.
Yeah.
You know, addiction, and with addiction comes lies and manipulation.
Still trying to give the kid the benefit of the doubt and not willing to give up on him just yet. You know, some people, they really need a lot more push, a lot more motivation. I can remember when I was 21 years old, you couldn't tell me nothing.
We are about to call Goodwill.
Yeah, we got a call. He said he did 3.5 hours yesterday. I believe he did these hours. He won't lie to us twice about this, would he?
How you doing? I had called a couple days ago about Brad doing his community service.
About a what?
About Mr. Brad.
Oh, yes, he's done his hours. Oh, no, he's not done. Yes, he's been here until the last week.
So he was... Is there any way you could just let me know right here over the phone how many he's done in the last few days?
Hello?
I'm here.
Yes. Okay, yes. He's done a total of 6 hours. He was here 6, 18, and yesterday.
And how many? He did 2 hours yesterday? Thank you very much. He did 4 hours on June 6th, and he did 2 hours yesterday.
Well, I guess something's better than nothing. And I guess, you know, he told me he did 3.5 hours. You know damn well what you did. So,
Lied again.
and I'm not gonna sweat the trivial details, I guess. You know, he said he did 3.5, you really did 2, fine. Whatever, we're gonna...
No, that's not a trivial detail, Joe.
But the fact that he's at least done something beats nothing.
Right, and we need to let him know that we are proud that he's actually doing something, but dude, quit freaking lying to us.
I want to ask you some questions, and, you know, I want you to answer this stuff as truthfully as... I want you to answer the stuff truthfully. Mm-hmm. You know, again, we've been dealing with you for like a week now, since first meeting you, and it's been rocky. Mm-hmm. We did the first video where it was called, "Is This Guy Really Homeless?" And you were mad about that. You were mad because, you know, we made some jokes in the video, and you know, there was almost a chance, or there was almost a time where I felt like we almost lost you, lost the trust that we were trying to build up in you. And at the same time, you trusting us, we want to be able to trust you because we genuinely want to help you. It's every day that we're seeing, you know, just the craziness that comes with being involved with the addiction. Just 2 days ago, they had a young girl, 18 years old, who was shot, or who supposedly shot herself during a traffic stop in Chesapeake, who is an active user. This cycle is just, it's never going to lead nowhere. And you know this. I'm just, you know, I'm preaching to the choir right now. This is stuff that you know, this is stuff that you've heard. You know, talk to me about what your biggest struggle is right now. And if it is addiction, you know, admit that.
Well, yeah, my biggest struggle is staying clean because I don't get to see my daughters a lot, as much as I'd like. And after I got back from rehab one time, my girlfriend, she had gotten clean, and me and her were both clean. She was on Suboxone, and I would take some of her Suboxone sometimes when I'd have cravings. And my mom asked if she could watch our daughter one night, and she ended up disappearing with her for weeks, or maybe about a week, actually. And at the time, we were actually taking drug tests for my girlfriend's mom, because I was living with her, basically because my dad had I put some dishes up in the wrong spot, and he punched me in the face for it. And my mom, right after that, said I could move in with her, my sister, and her boyfriend, but then she ended up saying there wasn't enough room for me. So my girlfriend's mom let me move in with her, and then she got pregnant and we got clean. And we were consistently taking drug tests for her, but my mom, either she didn't want to believe it or something. So she asked to watch her and then disappeared with her. And pretty much since then, she really dictates, and I'm not saying that's not her legal right, but she does it to a point to where, like, everyone around besides her or anyone who doesn't just listen to her realizes how f***ed up it is. Like,
I want to address the situation with your mother, and I got no real right to even do this, but I just want to give you an outsider's view, okay? So I don't want you to be offended when I say this, but your mother's somebody who has no idea how to deal with what you're dealing with. You know, you told me that when you were 16 and you admitted to her that you were using, she didn't do anything. And my thought on that is she probably didn't know what to do. That's got to be a parent's worst fear, is to have their child come and admit something like that to them. And again, I'm not trying to take her side in this, but you know, when you think about the kids that you have, because you have two children, two small children, your mother has one of them, you know, at this point, she's probably thinking like she has to do what's best for that child. And I know that affects you in such a way because you're like, that's my kid, you know, and you want to be a part of that child's life. That's all I want to say about that.
I'll agree with that, because parenting doesn't come with a manual, and even while my children have been here, I haven't been the best parent that I can.
But you know, there's still so much time left.
Yeah,
You know, you're 21 years old. You are young enough to where if you legitimately make these changes for yourself, because can't nobody do this for you, Brad. As much as me, Dave, and Cody, we want to help you, and I know your family wants to help you no matter what that relationship is like, and we won't even get into that, okay? But as much as anybody wants to help you, it ain't going to happen until you help yourself first, all right?
You're right. But even all the times that I've been clean, like, 2 of those times my mom said that I could move in with her. One of those times was before was born, my daughter, and the other was after she was born. In both of those times, she just ended up kicking me out. The second time I was taking drug tests for her, I failed the first one, but after that, I passed. But it ended up coming down to, basically, her and her boyfriend didn't want me there. But they always had room for my sister, not me. But
Well, you know what? Let me say something real quick, Brad, and this is completely off subject of you, but I just want to include myself in this. You know, I've got a brother. He's younger than me. He was more successful than me from the beginning. And my family, you know, it is what it is. My family favored my younger brother because I was the mess up. And that's probably the same situation that you're in right now. You're the mess up. But you know what? It ain't, all it's going to take is for you to prove it to yourself first. You know, and I'm not trying to sit here and be no hero. I'm not trying to sit here and act like I got all the information that's going to help you. But I want to share one other thing with you real quick. I was in prison for 7 years. I put myself there. Nobody else did this. I made the mistakes that led to me going to prison for 7 years. And when I first got there, within that first year that I was there, I was in such a dark place because I had burnt every bridge that I ever had. Dude, I wanted to kill myself. And you know why I didn't do it? And this is going to sound so pitiful. But the reason I decided not to do it is because I thought to myself, if I do this, one, who the hell is going to care? And two, what if people feel like this is the best thing that could have happened to me? You know what? He wasn't going anywhere. And as sad and sob story-ish as that sound, that actually became the motivation for me, with all this time still left to serve, to say, man, this is going to be the last time. And you know, we've talked before where you've admitted to us that you're not at rock bottom. The way that you view it, you're not at rock bottom. You know, but you don't want to have to reach that rock bottom before you start, because what they say is once you reach rock bottom, the only way you can go is up. Well, from where you're at right now, if this isn't rock bottom, it should be a little bit easier for you to try to get to a better place. And I'm not sitting here trying to preach to you. Because see, what I don't want to see is, and I'm going to be completely honest with you, Brad, I've had some real roller coaster of emotions when it comes to what we're doing with you. I've felt like, man, we're on the right track. This is great. I felt like, man, are we wasting our time in this situation? And this morning, I'm going to be completely honest with you, I felt like, is what we're doing helping you, or are we possibly contributing to things getting worse for you? Because that's what I do not want to do at all. You know, I know a lot of people have given up on you and have had to turn their back on you. And no matter how you feel about that, that's just what happens when it's just a constant negativity that surrounds your life.
Yeah.
It was mine as well. I dealt with the same crap, right?
Yeah, people get tired of it.
We want to be a positive influence for you. And I'm going to be, I'm keeping it 100, Brad. Like when we dropped you off at the Goodwill that day and you walked in there and we know for a fact that you didn't do the hours that you said you did, that should have been it right there. But you know what? I've been in your position where, you know, you're just in a rough spot. And for whatever reason, you decided you weren't going to do that. And we're still here. And you know what? We called the Goodwill before we met with you today, and they told us that you were there yesterday. That right there shows us just a little, a microscopic amount of effort. And for me, that's enough. But I'm not going to let you.
And I did meet with you the day that I said I would.
You did do that as well, even though you were ripping our heads off because you had just seen the video. And look, this is what I want to say. I want you to continue doing what you're doing as far as the community service. You've got to do that. But if there is a situation going on in your life right now where, you know, you still are using, and you don't even got to answer this question, okay? I'm not going to ask you if you are or if you're not. I want to, some kind of a way, through me, Dave, through Cody, through whatever kind of resources we can provide, figure out what it's going to take for you to realize, dude, enough is enough, man. It's got to be enough. With a lot of the suggestions that we've given to you all coming from a good place, right? You tend to try to have a justification why not to do that. Try to open up a little, and if that justification is because as soon as we get done here and I give you some money and you go get up with your friends and you go cop or you go do whatever it is that you're doing, you got to stop that justification.
Okay.
And that's it. We're going to take the small steps with you, and we're going to try to motivate you in whatever way that we can. And I think one very important thing, and we're already on the right track with this, is continuing and getting this damn community service knocked out. Brad, you have got to do that. And you did it yesterday, okay? And we know how long you were there for yesterday, and whatever it is, you were there. So we're going to start with these baby steps with you, okay? But we're also going to want more from you as far as gaining our trust, okay? And so long as you're willing to hear us out, these aren't unreasonable things, okay? But so long as you're willing to hear us out on these things and, you know, rock with us with these things that we need from you, we're here for you, and we will continue to be. And what we're gonna ask is, one, that you do this community service. I don't care how many hours a day you put in as much as you can, as often as you can, and get it knocked out. That will be one step in the right direction to get you to start moving toward like employment, getting off of probation, possibly joining the Army like you're talking about. The second thing is we're going to want the verification, which we can get that. You know, that's not even a problem. We are going to verify when you're working and that you are working, okay? We're also going to ask you be willing to take a drug test and prove to us that you are clean and that you're not using. Because in my mind, dude, there's no way in hell I can feel... I mentioned this earlier. I said sometimes we feel like we're going up with you, sometimes we feel like it's going down with you, and then sometimes, like this morning, I feel like, oh my God, is this the right thing to be doing? Because I almost feel like I'm enabling you every time I meet with you and I give you money, and I don't want to do that.
I understand.
You know, Dave brought up a damn good point. He said, you know, we should be clocking your money. And as up as that sounds, as almost juvenile as that sounds, or however that sounds, you know, if we're giving you money, Brad, we want to see that you're not using this money for the wrong stuff.
I understand that.
Because I don't want to see you end up like this chick who just ended up shooting herself during a traffic stop or however that situation played out. And the reason I bring that up is because she had some guy that my buddy Dave knows who was trying to intervene in her life because she was dealing with addiction as well. And if it is the case that, you know, while this guy was intervening, he wasn't a part of this traffic stop, and then this girl gets pulled over and ends up taking her own life. I mean, just imagine how this dude feels. I don't want to have to go through that with you. I don't want to hear about something horrible happening to you.
Yeah. That's actually, I don't know, kind of related to, you know, I used to want to be a psychologist, but then I thought about, like, what if one of my patients kills themselves, you know? You'd always, you know, I'm sure it'd be like relating to this, you'd always feel like you didn't do the right thing.
Or you didn't do enough, or maybe you shouldn't have done anything at all.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we put the ball in motion with you, Brad. We made contact with you, and we are here for you.
What's your goal? I guess that's a tough question, but
well, like I said, I am signed up to go to school in the fall.
No, I mean, like, all right, so when I was in prison this last time, you know, they were like, all right, we need a 1-year goal, a 5-year goal, and a 10-year goal, right? That's not what I'm asking. What I'm saying is, like, when you see your life, you don't see your life as, you know, a homeless heroin addict.
No.
What do you see? What do you want it to be?
At what point?
Right now.
Right now. If you could snap your fingers, where would you see yourself? Because I don't know about you. When I used to ask myself that, it wasn't rich, big house, no drug addict, my kids. No, it wasn't that. All I wanted was to be done with the bullshit. I wanted to be off of the drugs. I didn't want to worry about my probation no more. I didn't want to be, you know, committing crimes any longer. I didn't want to have friends in my life that really weren't my friends. I just wanted to be, me. I wanted to be normal.
If I could snap my fingers and, like, change everything, to be honest, I wouldn't have kids. As much as I love my daughters more than anything, but while they are a motivation, you know, when you are, you know, to be honest, I am, at any point, I'm this close to using again, you know, I'm that close to relapsing at any point, you know, because I just barely got better, and, you know, it would take just the smallest thing for me to slip up, you know, it'd take one bad moment, and then I'd just say,
look, there's this thing I've been saying, right, and it's only been, like, for about a month or two. but it's, you know, I'm tired of losing the fight to myself. I'm tired of being the one that beats me, right? And what I mean by that is nothing on the outside is what is really the issue.
Yeah.
Everything that makes me use is my perception of issues.
No, it wouldn't actually even be anything that happened. It'd just be me taking that and then saying, all right, you know, you're right. It would be me. But I'm just saying, like, that's all it would take. It would just take one bad thing happening and then me taking that as a justification to use. That's what I mean.
That's exactly what it is. And so now you have this opportunity presenting itself right here in front of you. What do you want us to do for you? You can do pretty much, you have the best opportunity standing in front of you. I'm not saying that we can change your life, but we're definitely here to give you another option.
Give me your game plan for today. Give me your game plan for this weekend. Give me what you're planning on doing.
Well, I'm gonna meet back up with my friends. They said they were gonna take me out to eat too. Then probably a little after that, I was gonna go to Goodwill for a while, and maybe call you from there. If not, call you a bit afterwards. I don't know. Then just find somewhere to go for tonight. This weekend, I don't really have any.
We talked about this.
Particular plans.
We talked about
I
this.
might try and reach out to my mom, actually, see if I can see my daughter, but...
Look, we talked about this off camera, and I want to address this real quick. We posed the proposition to you, which was, if you're willing, and you ain't got to answer this right now, just think about it. If you're willing, we will help you find somewhere to stay through potentially a halfway house, which could have more resources than we have right now. Job opportunities, maybe other folks who are in the same exact position as you, putting you around like-minded individuals who want to help themselves and get themselves in a better position. I want you to keep that in mind. That opportunity and that offer is available to you. So think about that.
But you were saying stop associating with everyone completely as well.
You know what? We did say that as well. And, you know, that may seem like the craziest damn thought in the world right now, but it might take that. I mean, for Dave, it absolutely took that.
When I say that, right, it'll be hard to stop associating with your girlfriend. But if you're capable of doing that, if you meet other people and then you find out that these people are in a bad place, it's so much easier to be like, no, I'm not. You know, that'd be stupid. Why am I going to add to the cons? You know, no pun intended.
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of people have suggested that before, and I mean, I guess the time that I did do the best was after I hadn't associated with for quite a while. But I mean, I owe nothing but loyalty. She, even like disregarding like using together, I owe my girlfriend nothing but loyalty. Like even disregarding everything that we've done together that's been negative, she's done an unbelievable amount for me.
I want you to keep this in mind. You know, you say you owe her nothing but loyalty. This could be a very loyal thing that you're doing. Though it may not seem like that at first.
I can promise you that she's not going to see it as that. But I can also promise you this.
If you get yourself in a better place,
you're in a more capable and able position to help her.
Let's look at it from another perspective real quick, and then we're going to wrap this up. Even if you don't cut her off completely, but if you say to her, hey, look, you know, there's this opportunity for me to go somewhere. She's got somewhere to be at. She can be, you know, she has a place to stay. You don't. And you tell her, hey, look, you know, there's this halfway house I can get into, and this is going to help me. And you'll probably still be able to maintain contact with her. And if she knows that you're there, she's not, you know, it'll probably give her a better peace of mind, especially if she is clean. You know, hey, look, now Brad's trying to, you know, stabilize his life. She shouldn't do anything but support that decision.
Yeah.
Because in all reality, with the
instability.
Instability that you're having. I mean, and I don't want this to sound harsh, but Brad, you're almost a burden to people.
Yeah, I am.
You know what I mean? So if you could be less of that and more good to your own damn self, she should really respect that. And I'm not asking you to make any definitive decision. Just take these things in mind that we've talked about with you today. We try to give you as much good advice as we possibly can. I hope it doesn't go in one ear and out the other. And if there's certain things that you don't latch on to, that's fine. But, you know, take these things into consideration at least. I got respect for you because you went to Goodwill yesterday. And if you go there today, my respect for you won't do nothing but continue to grow. I really want you to do these things, man. And I'm trusting that you will. And when we talk with you again, Brad, like, hopefully we'll be able to go further than where we were able to go today. But I do want to say thank you for being willing to open up about these things, and, you know, just for continuing to at least associate with us no matter where all of this leads to. But from me and Dave and Cody, you know, we're not doing this just to do this. We're doing this because we see that, you know, you're not completely lost. You're not at rock bottom, like where you know, you said it yourself, you're not completely at rock bottom. And by the fact that you pick up the phone and you talk to us and you take the time to come meet with us, you know, we see the hope in you. And we want to just try to help you see that, you know, you're not beyond repair, man. So we're leaving from being with Brad, and, you know, he was willing to sit with us and film with us. And, Dave, what's your, you know, what are you thinking, man? Do you think he's using?
100% I do. You know, I've been there, and I could tell, you know, towards the end, I could just feel the same thing that was in myself at one point, and it was just, he was ready to go. He was ready to go. He wanted the money. Could just see like the whole situation pan out in my head. You know, he's like, man, I can call this dude up, you know, and y'all have to take me somewhere so I can meet with him. It might take me a minute. I have to go talk to him. You know, when you weren't willing to just come out yesterday, he called you up and was like, look, I'm willing to share my story. Can I talk with you?
So, you know, I thought about that as well too. Today he wanted to share his story. He might have felt like he was losing us a little bit. So, you know, hey, look, I know these guys are going to give me money if I tell them I'm ready to share my story. And, you know, think about it. When we first met with him today, you know, he was still trying to beat around the bush about going with us. Oh, well, could we just do it right here? Could we hurry up and do it right here? You know, look, I see the signs as well. And while I was talking with him, I didn't necessarily say, we know you're using, but I definitely wanted to make it seem like that's what we were assuming, what we were feeling, what we were thinking that he has been doing. And this isn't just going to be a situation where we're going to resolve this, where we're going to fix him, where we're going to save him, where we're going to, you know, make some changes in his life. This is going to take time. You know this as well as anybody, that, you know, these stumbles, these half attempts, these half efforts are going to be probably what's necessary first in order to get some real deal effort on his part.
You know, a big thing that's also, you know, against him, and I know it sounds crazy, he's 21 years old. You know?
Hard-headed. Can't tell him nothing.
No, and he admitted himself that I'm not in a bad place for real.
I definitely got the indication though that, you know, or got the feeling that he's definitely, you know, using. So, whatever. We tried to talk with him today. He was willing to share his story for whatever that's worth. You know, whether it was because he really wanted to, or whether it was because he felt like he just had to in an effort to get money so he could go school or whatever. You know, I want this to be a redemption story. I want this to be, hey, look, you know, we didn't give up on you. We worked our asses off to reach you, to help you reach yourself. And now you're in a way better place. I want that to be the story. I don't want this to be the life of a drug addict part 2.